Hello everyone and welcome into crushthestreet.com. I'm Kenneth Amaduri and we're here again today. We're going to be focusing on a trend that I believe is something investors should be paying attention to, and a lot of people aren't, and that is zinc. It's not really one of those things that are on many investors' radars, but it's hitting 10-year plus highs, and it's a really hot commodity right now. And that's actually why I've brought Jordan Butler, a VP of Corporate Development of Callinex Mines. And this is a company, if you recall, that we profiled at 20 cents here at Crush the Street, and has really come a long way. And the case could be made that the company's value now is even more than we originally profiled it when it was 20 cents. But yeah, let's get into it today with Jordan of Callinex Mines. Jordan, thanks for coming on the show with me.
Thank you for having me on your show, Kenneth.
Jordan, let's talk about the underlying dynamics for zinc at the moment. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of enthusiasm with the commodity right now. Let us know what is going on behind the scenes here.
The zinc market, as you noted, has reached 10-year highs. It almost seems on a daily basis that we're making new 10-year highs. That's really been underpinned by a transformation in the zinc market, whereby over the last 5 years or so, there's been 3 very large mines that have shut down due to all the resources being mined. The mineralization is gone, it's been mined out, and now the zinc market is dealing with about a 10% reduction in supply. So as that mine supply has been removed, the market's been relying on above ground inventories in warehouses. These warehouses have, over the last 5 years, the LME in particular, has gone from 1.2 million tons of zinc in storage now to less than 200,000 tons. So when we have the market that's in a supply deficit and all the inventory that's above ground is being consumed, we were really at the point where we're reaching a critical point, and the market's recognizing that in terms of higher zinc prices.
So it's really been a supply side dynamic that has been sending the zinc price higher. But I got to ask you, what is going on the demand front of the equation?
On the demand front, we're seeing actually increased demand compared to a lot of projections and analyst consensus heading into this zinc bull market. And that's driven by lower unemployment rates, stronger global growth. And in fact, Goldman Sachs just came out today and was very bullish on, it may have been yesterday, and came out very bullish on base metals. In particular, calling for significantly higher prices for more of the mainstream industrial commodities, including zinc, but copper, tin, aluminum. And that's a thesis that bodes very well on the demand side for zinc.
Sure. And you know what? One of the things that we're seeing right now is kind of a disconnect between the zinc stocks and zinc right now. Zinc, the underlying fundamentals for zinc have been incredible, but the value of the stocks has yet to catch up. And I kind of feel like when the market realizes this or decides to price this in, the upside should be pretty good for good companies.
I completely agree on the in terms of market expectations. As I mentioned, when we started going into this, what was forecasted to be a zinc bull market, but was a bit delayed in starting, the approach was the fundamental, the story was driven by supply. And as a result, it was assumed that as zinc prices went up, there would be production that comes in and brings prices down. So there's a lot of investors that haven't taken a longer term approach on the zinc market. Now that this is playing out, what we're actually seeing is new supply, very slow to come into the market, not meeting expectations. Zinc prices have gone higher, and we're seeing increase on the demand side. All this leads to higher expectations on zinc prices longer term, and I think as soon as that really starts to happen, it's going to be priced into the zinc equities, which typically move much higher than metal prices on the upside. And that's a trend that we've yet to see, but I think certainly could be very catastrophic for the sector going forward.
Sure. And one of the things that we haven't even talked about yet is the fact that gold is moving higher here in 2018. And, the impacts or the effects of what that will do to the entire resource market if gold really kicks into gear. And, it's possible that the zinc stocks catch that windfall in addition to its own trend that it's seeing. So there's kind of a few things working for zinc and the underlying resource stocks going forward here in 2018.
When you look at the demographics of investors, the average portfolio is about 50% held in gold. And even though copper, zinc, the world's third and fourth largest consumed commodities, on the junior side, with investor sentiment, it's really all tied to gold. So when we see portfolios of our shareholders increase based on gold, that's something that's certainly very bullish for reallocating that capital into zinc equities and into companies like Callinex when we see the zinc price going up, but a disconnect in terms of the equity prices. It certainly brings more capital into the sector and creates a wave of capital inflows. So I certainly agree that could be a significant impact and start of the catalyst for revaluation of zinc equities.
Yeah, Jordan, so we got a convergence of trends here. You got the zinc fundamentals. We have precious metals turning around and, the windfall of what that will do to the rest of the resource market. But of course, we have your company specifically. And I'd love to get your thoughts on where the value is and, what investors can expect when they invest in Callinex Mines.
Callinex is really focused on advancing its deposits and assets in the Bathurst mining camp in New Brunswick in Canada. It's a jurisdiction that has been one of the top zinc mining jurisdictions historically, so it has great infrastructure. And we have two key deposits there in the camp, particularly our Nash Creek deposit, which we're working towards an initial mine plan that we'll be announcing to the market as part of a PEA in the first half of 2018. So that's really a significant catalyst in the near term, and I think something that will be a transformative event for the company as we go forward.
Jordan, so as far as the game plan then for 2018, what can investors expect from the company? And I guess what is the blue sky for the company? What's the goal? Is it to be bought out? Is it for the company to build out an asset? What are we looking forward to here?
I think the most likely scenario in terms of development is an acquisition, given that the Nash Creek project that we have is very strategically located in this mining camp in particular. It's one of the largest unmined deposits, and we're demonstrating exceptional exploration upside as we expanded the deposit by approximately 50% in the first 6 months of 2017 alone in terms of our exploration program. So what we're seeing is a deposit that's much larger than we originally thought. It's in the right location, and we're working on an initial mine plan that'll demonstrate the economics to the market in pretty short order here. As soon as that's completed, we'll return back on the exploration side and continue our exploration and look to materially advance the deposit both through expansion and through a 20-kilometer long land package that we have that could really be a game changer for our shareholders.
Well, I must say, we're all about being in front of the trend and positioning ourselves in value opportunities, and it really seems like that's exactly what we have here. Jordan, if you would please share some closing thoughts about the company and ways that investors can partner with you if they so choose.
Our website, first and foremost, is a great resource for investors to go to. We have our corporate presentation on there that has a lot more information on the company. That website is www.callinex.ca, and our shares trade on the TSX Venture under the symbol CNX and on the OTCQX under the symbol CLLXF. in summary, Callinex has a very strong technical team. It's been involved in a number of base metal discoveries in the past, and a really exciting project in terms of our assets in New Brunswick with near-term potential to be advanced towards production. And I think in a zinc market that's really lacking the key word there, near-term, creates a pretty compelling opportunity for us to move this asset forward, in particular in a very strong zinc market.
All right, Jordan, thanks for coming on with me at crushthestreet.com.
Thank you for having me, Kenneth.